Hi, welcome to How to Repair. This video is on tumble dryer test mode and diagnostic mode to find the error faults on your Electrolux made tumble dryer. It can either be used for AEG, Electrolux, Zanussi or any of their other brands. All work should be done by a qualified engineer as we are working on the appliance with all the sides off and on a live circuit. Just showing you where your model number can be found, as you'll need this to obtain the parts. Now on this tumble dryer we're working on the ENV06 circuit board, and to enter test sequence you need it to turn the dial from the off position to position 1 with the buzzer and the start button pressed simultaneously. This will enter the first stage of testing, which checks all the LCD lights. Now on different type of machine the button sequence and the diagnostic sequence is slightly different, but I will need your full model number and serial number to be able to give you the correct information. You might find some of it available at the website on Pacific Pages where people have asked questions before. But as you can see we're working on TC4 facial panel type, which is very similar to the TC6. So this is the pump. These are the two capacitors. The one on the left is the start capacitor, the one on the right is the run capacitor. The back part of the condometric system, and behind this panel we have the heater, and on the front here you have the front part of the condometric system, and at the bottom we have the NTC sensor thermostat next to the capacitor and a couple of jockey wheels that hold the drum in place. Now we're doing test number 2, which is the pump on the circuit board type, or facial panel type, sorry, and we'll be checking the switch at the bottom. Also it's a float switch, and this will activate the motor. Now we need to pour about 0.7 of a litre of water into the bottom reservoir, so I'm just filling from the top reservoir and letting it flow back down. Make sure it's empty before you start pouring the water, and I'm just turning the dial back onto 2 so it doesn't time out. And as you can see the float has been activated and the motor is now pumping the water up to the top reservoir. So we'll just put the reservoir tray back in to catch all this water. And as you can see the lights are flashing, and when it's finished pumping the lights will go out, and we're ready to do test number 3, which is testing the motor triacs and relays on the circuit board. Also the motor will rotate in an anti-clockwise rotation with no heat. And there we go, and this should run for approximately 10 minutes before it times out, but it will only run the pump for about 30 seconds. We won't do the full test on this. So again, going into test mode for test number 4, which is basically triac motor in stepping sequence. So this is testing the triacs and also just rotating the drum round on a step-by-step stage, which allows you to take close inspection of the drum. Now test number 5 is testing the drum in a clockwise rotation, and this is on low heat. Now you can flick between 5 and 6, which is high heat, and as you can see on high heat I'm drawing just over 8 amp, and on low heat I think it's drawing just under 6 amp. This will vary from slightly as my meter's not calibrated, so I can't be exact, but it gives me an indication that the heater is working on high and low heat correctly. Now the next test is quite a difficult one. This is checking the condometric sensor, and we need to create a short for this. So undoing the wire at the front of the condometric sensor, which basically has a carbon brush in the front and the rear, and by putting a piece of wire in here I'm able to short with the rear sensor, and you only get 4 seconds to do this test, and you only have 1 second to create the short, so it's best to be prepared beforehand. And then turning the machine on while you create the short. If the test is okay, the lights will go out, but if the test is unsuccessful, you will get an error code, usually 32, and this flashes in 3 red lights followed by 2 greens. I'll tell you all about the error codes towards the end of this video. After reconnecting the wire to the condometric sensor, we're able to perform test 8, which is with an open circuit, and the lights again should go out. Again, if you go to our FAQs or the repair guides, I will post all the error codes for you. And the last test I'm doing here, or last but one, is it's only a test on the fill pump with the flotation switch, and it will operate once activated for 30 seconds just to pump the water again. Again, it's about 0.7 of a litre to activate it. And then after 30 seconds the lights will go out again. And the last test is to clear the memory in the RAM, and this will wipe out any error codes that actually exist in the machine. And what you have to do for this is very carefully start at number 1, okay, in test mode sequence, and without stopping. It's very important not to stop on position 7, otherwise you will create an error code. So just quickly turning the dial all the way through to position 10, and if there's any error code there, it would have been stored. There was no error code on this machine, but I'm just simulating an error code here, and as you can see it's flashing 3 red lights followed by 2 greens, which is error 32. And to clear it, hold the 2 buttons together and this will wipe out the memory. Now to reset the machine, turn the machine all the way back to the off position, then turn the machine back on, then turn it off and turn it back on, and you're in normal tumble dryer mode. I hope you found this video helpful. I've decided to post all the error codes on the website, so just enter your model in or make in followed by error codes and tumble dryer, and I'll also put a link on here for you. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, remember you can always buy us a beer. And don't forget, you can get all the parts at the website. Thanks very much indeed for watching.